World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. Iran is believed to be preparing to launch more long-range missiles across the Middle East after reopening access to key underground arsenals, according to experts. Earlier, the CNN reports United States and Israeli strikes had targeted roads and tunnel entrances to limit Iran's missile operations, but new satellite images show those blockages are being cleared. Analysts say Iran has used basic equipment like bulldozers and dump trucks to reopen tunnels, underscoring the limits of airstrikes in disabling its capabilities. Despite a tentative agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, tensions remain high and the risk of renewed fighting persists. Experts note that Iran still has a significant stockpile of missiles and can continue launching attacks as long as launch crews and systems remain operational. Satellite data indicates that most damaged tunnel entrances and access roads have already been repaired following the ceasefire. Military analysts warn that while the strikes achieved short-term tactical gains, they may fall short of delivering a lasting strategic impact. In other news overseas, Israel's military says it has taken control of the strategic Beaufort Castle in southern Lebanon, a move Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called a decisive shift in operations against Hezbollah. The BBC reports the advance comes as Israeli ground forces push deeper into Lebanese territory beyond the Litani River, expanding the scope of their offensive. At the same time, the Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, have widened evacuation warnings, urging more civilians in southern Lebanon to leave affected areas. Lebanon has condemned the actions, accusing Israel of carrying out collective punishment. Beaufort Castle, which overlooks the Litani Valley, has long held military importance dating back to the Crusader era and was previously occupied by Israel during the 1982 Lebanon War. Israeli officials say retaking the site is both strategically and symbolically significant, with Defense Minister Israel Katz noting its role in securing communities near the border. The military added that operations are continuing to expand, with more troops deployed as fighting intensifies in additional areas. Meanwhile, Germany is warning about Israel's expanded ground offensive in southern Lebanon, saying the military escalation could further destabilize an already volatile region. Al Jazeera reports German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul described Israel's push deeper into Lebanese territory as cause for serious concern and urged all parties to stop the fighting. The official cautioned that continued escalation could worsen tensions and trigger additional waves of displacement inside Lebanon. Meanwhile, Britain's Minister for the Middle East and North Africa, Hamish Falconer, also expressed alarm, saying the ongoing escalation is undermining diplomatic efforts and harming civilians. British Minister Falconer stressed that Israel's widening military operations must come to an end. He also said Hezbollah should stop attacks on Israel and disarm, adding that all sides need to respect the ceasefire and continue U.S.-led negotiations. Both countries are calling for renewed restraint as fears grow of a broader regional conflict. In other news overseas, Japan has pushed back strongly against China's accusations that Tokyo is pursuing new militarism, instead criticizing Beijing's own military expansion and lack of transparency. Speaking at the defense summit in Singapore, the BBC reports Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi said China's large and growing arsenal poses a far greater concern for the international community. His remarks were among the most direct responses yet from Japan, following repeated Chinese criticism of Japan's expanding defense posture under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. The exchange comes amid long-standing tensions rooted in Japan's wartime invasion of China during World War II. Just days before the summit, a Chinese defense spokesperson warned of what he called a resurgence of Japanese militarism and urged global efforts to contain it. Japan, meanwhile, has steadily increased its defense spending for 12 consecutive years, with its latest budget surpassing 9 trillion yen as it moves closer to NATO-style spending targets. Japanese Defense Minister Koizumi defended the build-up, saying it is natural for countries to strengthen their defenses to address new threats and help maintain regional peace. And finally, at least 45 people have been killed and around 70 others injured after a powerful explosion tore through a building in northeastern Myanmar on Sunday, according to rescue workers and local media reports. The CNN reports the blast happened around midday in the village of Kaungtup in Kam Township, an area near the Chinese border. The building was reportedly being used to store explosives linked to mining activities. Rescue teams said dozens of bodies, including those of children, were recovered from the site by Sunday evening and taken for cremation. Authorities also reported that more than 70 injured victims were brought to a nearby hospital as search and rescue efforts continued. Some local accounts put the death toll even higher, with reports of widespread destruction to nearby homes and infrastructure. The area is controlled by an ethnic armed group involved in ongoing clashes with Myanmar's central government, and investigations into the cause of the explosion are still underway. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.